In this video, you will discover the 5 signs that you are dating a narcissistic man. Hi, I'm Antia, founder and creator of the Magnetize Your Man Method. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more juicy videos coming your way. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Sign number 5 that you are dating a narcissistic man is he love bombs you. Have you ever had this experience that everything's just going too much, too fast? It just feels a little bit out of whack. It feels out of alignment, right? It's a little bit like you do always wanted, never expected miracle, and you get all those poems, and there's so much fantasy, and there's almost like a grandiosity to the gestures of the man. Now, there is a chance that he is literally love bombing you. What is love bombing? It is particularly when a man is trying to really feed off your need of approval and your need for love. So he's bombing you with that so much that you get addicted to it, right? That you get charmed and enchanted so that he can then, of course, later on break you down, right? Because now you've gotten addicted and now you know how he can be and you know the potential of him and you totally rely on that, right? And I actually have a story from this must have been almost 20 years ago, where that was exactly the case. I got totally love bombed. I was totally told you always wanted, never expected miracle and whatnot, right? And out of the sudden, this guy turned from from Mr. Hyde to Dr. Jekyll, and vice versa. Now, of course, you can also deal with a bipolar borderline personality there, but that is one indication that you are dating a narcissistic man. So watch out for that. Sign number 4 that you are for sure dating a narcissistic man is the very famous gaslighting. Now, gaslighting is particularly defined as breaking down your own reality, right? This particular behavior actually makes sure that you are doubting yourself. You are questioning yourself, right? You actually second guess, wait, am I thinking this? Is this right? Or is this wrong? So you really lose your sense of righteousness, really, your sense of your own judgment, your own sense of your own self-core, right? And so to give you an example, my mom, she is, of course, a narcissist, as many of you know who have been following me for a while. And she would literally say, I didn't say that. So they're denying reality, right? And you're like, wait a minute, did I say that? Do I need to record the conversation? So if you feel like you need to prove that somebody said something, girlfriend, there's a chance that you're dating a narcissistic man. If you're terrified to say something, if you're terrified that he's going to turn around the word in your mouth, which is interesting because that's always what my dad said. My dad always said, to my mom, right? You are turning the words around in my mouth, right? That's what a narcissist does. So if you feel like I'm questioning my own reality, I don't know what's up and what's down and what's left and what's right, then chances are you're dating a narcissistic man. Sign number 3 that you are dating a narcissistic man is he's putting you down so he feels better. Now, he loves to particularly do that in front of his friends. So he loves to do that in front of an audience. Now, why is that? Because he needs to have a sense of superiority, right? Because remember, actually, yes, he has grandiose self-esteem, but actually there's a lot of emptiness behind that, right? So there's got to be a huge facade, even because you can't find out that there's nothing behind it, right? So he can never get into the position where he doesn't feel good enough or where he feels inferior, because that would be way too vulnerable, that would be way too shame-provoking, and the narcissist would never let that happen. Instead, he will actually build his self-esteem at your cost. So if you feel like your self-esteem is going down, you're constantly being put down, you're constantly being made wrong. I read this example of one of the women, I think it was in my Facebook group, who shared, and she said that, one day she literally made the eggs wrong, right? And he put her down for it, and in such a way that was out of proportion versus giving her healthy feedback and saying, hey, I don't like this, the ex like this, or, can you make sure next time you're prepared like that, right? It turned out into just like blowout. Who do you think you are? You're so stupid. You can't cook, right? So they can become very, very aggressive verbally, and in the worst case scenario, also physically. Sign number 2 is explaining itself, which is he focuses on himself. So it's always about him, right? He loves to do selfies of himself. He asks you about your opinion of him, and you better have only good opinions of him, because he will not accept any negative opinions of him. He will not be able to deal with criticism. Yeah, so like, if you judge and if you criticize a narcissist, you're gonna get that back like tenfold. He's gonna break you down, right? But he will just talk about himself. So you notice like how great his car is and how great his life is and how great his job is. And also when you share something, you'll notice there will be no question, there will be no inquiry, there will be no investment. It's always about flipping, and then it's all about him again, right? And you can also tell, it's almost like when you're sharing about yourself, you're looking at a blank screen. There's nobody home. And it can be really, really uncomfortable, because you almost feel like you're sharing something and it's inadequate. It almost feels like you're taking up space, and it's like, how dare you taking up space? Like, you're not important. Like, why would I listen to what you have to say, right? So he's kind of like giving you this kind of feeling, and he's not listening to you. Now, I talked in sign number 5 about love bombing. You can pay attention to that one too, because they actually don't listen to you, right? They love bomb you. So that's what I mean. It's like out of proportion. They're just like send you letters, but it may not even be related to what you said, right? So it's really like important that you pay attention to, do I feel connected, right? Do I feel rapport inside of myself, or do I feel like that was kind of like out of context? Like that's kind of like a little way too much, right? And the same with the self-focusedness. They'll literally not be able to focus on you at all. And as a matter of fact, they can go on for hours. They can just talk about themselves. And good indication is you're going to feel drained. If you feel drained, chances are you're dating a narcissistic man. And lastly, sign number 1 that you are dating a narcissistic man is he lacks empathy. So imagine this. Imagine like something happens to you. You cut your finger. You had a bad day at work. You had an argument with your friend, and you have actually quite an emotional day, right? It's really emotionally impacted. You feel really disappointed. You feel really like let down, right? Or you feel really in pain. And you notice there's almost like an emotional apathy there. It's not an empathy. It's an apathy. It's like there's nobody home. Like he may actually just talk about from a logical perspective, right? Or also you'll see it how he deals with response to homeless people, or how he responds to anyone who's like helpless or powerless or anything like that, right? Where you feel like, wow, look, this baby, has been crying, and he will just be very matter of fact, very disassociated, right? Like narcissists are very disassociated, right? Including from themselves. So if you feel like, wait a minute, this would be really a good place to have empathy, right? This would be really a good place to show compassion, right? About like a person like, who had like a horrible experience, or maybe there's like an attack or a terror, or war, or whatever it is, right? So really pay attention if he's actually emotionally responding to something like that has a big impact on your body, or if he's just blank. If you like this video, I invite you to watch my free playlist course on how to make a man chase you, and of course also stop attracting narcissistic men. And also I invite you to take my free Magnetize Your Man quiz at magnetizeyourman.com, or simply by clicking that link below. Ladies, this is it for today. Much love to you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.